Caelan, this is what our theme song sounds like.
Waterooler. Waterooler.
Can you feel it?
Waterooler.
Hello and welcome back to Waterooler. That's our show. That's our show name, right?
Smooth start.
Damn. I could even make it to 4 words.
It's professional, folks.
Episode number 262, also known as 69 plus 69 plus 69 plus 55. Thank you so much for tuning in. We got a grand old show today. A lot of stuff to get to. But let me introduce everybody here. We got Caelan here.
What's going on?
Gary's here.
What's up? What's up?
Matt Fondiler.
Hey, brother.
And my name's Chris Laxamana. Mike Dawson is not here. We don't know why. Thank you again for tuning into the show. We love doing this show, and we got a lot. We got another part of the bracket.
Yeah, we do. My
The
God.
what is this bracket called
So
again?
excited.
This is the Super Bowl.
The
what?
soup
Super Bowl.
bowl,
Thank you.
and the foundation that puts it on.
HSF, parentheses HSF.
Yeah, out of
That's the last parentheses part.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
my God, and of course Caelan has a flickin',
I do.
which I'm very excited about. And Gary, he doesn't have a tech talk, but I've been watching him deal with some tech. I don't know, the last
Nightmare.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what is going on, man?
I don't know. I got a new phone, and Apple has a really slick process where you just point your new phone at your old phone, and everything works, except it absolutely doesn't. And I am losing my mind.
Now,
Yeah.
Chris, the thought, did you try making the phones kiss like you would 2 Barbie dolls?
Oh yeah, no
Yeah.
Kith.
You know, and like kind of make the bottoms touch, you know what I mean?
If you're watching on YouTube, you'll
Yeah.
see right now that they're sitting here. I am trying in vain to make them work while kissing, and it's not working.
Yeah, they're smushing hard.
So I feel very bad for the
Yeah.
Apple representative that gets my phone call later this evening because I'm not getting off the last guy that I got on the phone while we were at the office early in the day basically told me that I should start over and that I should go back to a brand new iPhone with no apps and just rebuild my life. And that is just not gonna
Yeah,
work.
all your contacts, all your texts,
Yeah.
all that stuff.
That's
You know,
a nightmare.
if you get hooked up with the right customer service rep from Apple, they'll let you know that we're going to solve this together like the Scooby Gang.
That's true. Well, see, that's why I only do the verbal one. I
Right.
won't do it over text because that is just mind blowing.
Yeah, Gary, listening to you with customer service, though, I think your approach is a little off because you are too polite. You sound almost defeated.
That was round 1. I plan to be a lot more aggressive and not be taking no for an answer
Thank
the
you.
way I did this
Yeah.
morning. This morning, I was so the fact that this guy thought that just start over like it's a fresh iPhone and like rebuild everything. The fact that he thought that was a reasonable suggestion just let me know that I was never getting to where I wanted to go with that particular guy.
Yeah.
So I just sort of gave up. But tonight I will be much more forceful. You see, the problem is that what I'm running into is it's saying that my old phone has purchases associated with a different Apple ID. And not just one different Apple ID, like 40 of them. And I've never had another Apple ID on my phone. I don't do family sharing. Joya's not on my phone. So there's a problem here, and there has to be a fix. They've got to be able to help me figure it out.
It's like,
Is it possible that these are water cooler cell phone listeners?
oh,
It is possible.
Like they subscribed, they didn't know how else to do it, so they just glommed onto your Apple ID.
It's very possible because, as I told you, there's 2 or 3 Apple ID emails that I do recognize of people we know that I personally know have listened to Waterooler. So it's definitely possible.
yeah. I don't like the just start new. It's like I call the cops, missing persons report. Hi, I cannot find my wife. Well, man, start dating.
Yeah.
Just get back out there, bro.
Time to start downloading those apps.
Yeah.
And look, if they had caught my dad or something and told him to restart, like that might be one thing. Like he uses his phone to call people because he's old. My house is all controlled by my phone. Like my car, that's my car key. Like I'm not starting over. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, good luck, Gary.
Thank you
It
very
is.
much.
Yeah, it has been a quite the process.
It's been a journey.
Yeah. All right. So before we get to our signature segments, which I'm so excited about, we got to kick it off with some listener comments, right?
Yeah.
And let's just get to it. I love this.
Now it's time for.
Oh, I played the old one.
Now it's time for listener comment.
What a lovely intro.
Oh yeah, Caelan has headphones today.
Wow,
you can hear
Caelan?
all the musical
I never heard
cues.
that. In honor of the comments, I'm going to do a boozy bite.
That's right. We
Thank you,
received
Laura
some amazing product from producer Laura Lee. They're called Boozy Bites, and they're basically pre-made Jell-O shots with a hell of a packaging design wherein you use the glass to feed yourself the Jell-O shot.
So you unscrew it like this.
It looks like a wine glass or martini glass with a stem, but the stem you can actually use that to push out, like a push pop, push out the Jell-O part.
Are you going to do another one, Chris?
Yeah, I will do my first one.
Oh, yeah. I meant do one for the first time, not like
In
we
life.
had some before the show started.
No, these are great. I'll try the Moscow Mule one.
I'm trying the Citrus Punch. Gary, what do you think?
I think it's great. I was a little confused because I was over at my mother's house last night, and as I was leaving, my mom, and as I was leaving, she just shoved this into my hand and said, "Take this into work this week and share it with the Bobo Boys."
Oh, that's very sweet. Thank you,
okay.
producer Laura Lee.
I had no idea what they even were until I got home. I didn't really look at the box
I will
carefully.
try this during Flickin' when I don't have to talk, because the first one I tried, I was out for a minute.
Took you a while.
And by the way, you guys positing, thank you, Matt. The
welcome.
first one Matt took like in 4 bites. He was like, "I would never put this whole thing in my mouth." That totally
Get that drop.
Yeah.
I'll stand by it.
Yeah.
But it
You
was
can really taste the vodka, though. That's the thing about this. That's
These are
making
pretty
it
strong.
pretty good.
they're
Yeah.
15%.
everywhere.
So they are they're legit.
Ooh.
All right. I can't wait to throw this one down my gullet. All right, let's get going
Get
with
that
some
dropped.
listener comments. Once again, these are comments and clan mail sent to us
no,
on
I don't think there's any
Facebook.
mail.
Sounds
No.
right.
They're just comments.
Oh, yeah, fan
Comments.
mail.
That sounds right.
No.
No.
Oh, boy.
This is from our Facebook group, and if anybody wants to join the Facebook group, very easy, facebook.com/group/Bobo Army Worldwide LLC. All right, let's start it off. Sarah writes, "Hey, Bobo Boys, hey. Remember that one time Quarren Queen Jen borrowed Chris's car and his Bluetooth was still connected?
Yep.
Classic.
Sure do.
As I remember, she had not left the driveway yet. He got caught watching porn as soon as she left because the sound was playing in his car. This story may trump the time he shit his pants, or might make for a great rehearsal dinner story. Well, you're welcome in advance. Love you, Max Pata. Mean it." Oh, yes, we all remember the story.
Great story.
Thank you.
You
Actually,
remind Chris of it daily.
Jen brings it up a lot more often than I'd like.
And I
She
will
likes to
also
make fun of
say
it.
it's actually a morality tale for the rest of us, because I can't tell you how many times now, as I'm getting into the car with my wife, I make sure to like activate the music app and like get it loaded up on my phone. You know what I mean? I don't want to take any chances. I heard your story and I was mortified.
And she referenced that it might be a good rehearsal dinner speech. You got to be really careful who you pick to make those speeches. Guys are savage and they're real monsters. I did not tell my best man he was my best man until he was in California for the wedding, because I was afraid that if he was given ample notice, he would write a horrific speech that would be just horrible. He still wrote a pretty messed up speech. He was
Wow.
kind enough to do a lot of it in code, but I was very embarrassed as he was giving it.
Yeah.
It was pretty awesome.
I'm not worried. I have nothing to hide.
Sure.
Sure. Well, you talk about all your embarrassing stuff on this podcast.
That's
Yeah,
true.
it's all out
But
there.
have your relatives heard it?
Yeah, I have relatives that listen to the show, sure.
Yeah. No, I'm not talking about Caelan. He's part of the show.
I know, Caelan is one of them.
Yeah.
No, I always consider it to be like B Rabbit in 8 Mile.
Wow.
Just put it out there.
Puts it out
Don't
there
let the
before
enemies-
before
yeah.
anyone else could get
Yeah,
to
I
him.
feel you.
Yeah, Caelan gets it. I abide by that concept. All right, but thanks for writing that, Sarah. Melissa writes, "I definitely listened to the water cooler before the Adam Carolla show. Doesn't everyone? Hashtag Woof Woof, hashtag respect all women, hashtag respect the water cooler's worst caller, hashtag love my Bobo Boys." A lot of hashtags. I don't think you're the worst caller. How dare you?
Yeah.
But thank you for writing that.
Caelan was way worse when he called in. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah, Caelan.
God, what a
Caelan,
terrible performance that was.
he didn't even speak. He just pushed numbers.
That's right.
Caelan, are you?
Oh, right.
Are you
yeah,
there?
when I was in the
That
hospital.
was pretty jitty.
Sorry.
I'm sure you had other things to worry about.
Yeah,
but we're trying to do a show over here.
Priorities, man.
Mary
Come
had
on.
a little lamb, you know.
You know what? I got nothing to say. You got me.
Wes Woods asked a question. Hey, curious if anyone here hunts. If so, do you do the processing yourself or send it out? And he put a picture up of some of his meats. I didn't know that you had to do I didn't even know the word processing, but I guess it's kind of when you clean your fish out. You bring your
Yeah, but you send it to a lot of people. Send them to butchers, make sausage or
Yeah.
stuff like that out of it.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
So
I
a
don't
lot
think
of
I could hunt.
you don't think you could hunt?
No. Maybe like birds.
What's
but
the
that's
largest?
maybe about it.
But
Well,
those
they're
are-
not real.
Those
Yeah.
are fake.
What do you
Exactly. That's why.
What?
I'm doing everyone a favor.
What is the largest thing that you would hunt?
Chris.
Yes.
Probably birds.
Probably birds.
Yeah.
But like a
turkey?
turkey or like an ostrich.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't kill an ostrich.
You would
like
kill-
a duck.
Ostrich is too big.
Too big.
But duck's
big.
okay.
Duck's okay.
What about Big Bird?
Big bird. Too big.
Big bird's too big.
Too big.
How about a hummingbird?
I don't want to kill a
Too
hummingbird.
small.
Yeah, there's a sweet spot. It's the
Yeah,
size
you
of a
gotta
duck.
find the right. Yeah, duck to chicken range.
There you go.
Yeah, hummingbirds are real.
I don't know. I don't think so. They're too fast.
All right, Dave.
Too fast.
Their wings are
They
too
are
fast.
too fast.
It's not,
They are
it's not
oddly
natural.
fast. Yeah, how do they just hover perfectly still?
That's
for
how they
that
were
long?
made.
Yeah, it's really a steady cam. It's the steady cam of birds.
You're right.
It's been said many times.
David Hundley put a little script together. He goes, he starts off with my wife.
My life.
My wife.
My wife.
She says, I don't think the Christmas Chronicles looks good. David. Well, Caelan really liked it. Wife. Why were you talking to my friend Caitlin? David. No, I said Caelan. Wife. Who's Caelan? And then it ends.
And scene.
And scene. Sean writes, oh no, he just put a picture up of a Natty Light Seltzy. I didn't know they made Seltzy.
They're
Natty
tall
Seltzy.
boys, too.
When they're tall boys. And the flavor was Catalina Lime Mixer.
Wow.
That's good.
I think Gary showed me a link too. Was it Bud Light or somebody's making their seltzy that's like 8.5 or 9%? It's crazy.
But like
Oh, the platinum. I had that.
Chris has had that, he told me.
It was good. Yeah. Got me from A to B, sure. But, even if I drink, it doesn't even matter. I still come into work and nobody even notices. Let's see. Stephanie Gutierrez and Jeff. They both, two listeners, Stephanie and Jeff, they both gave a shout out to Andy, who called into ACS, and he led with a pro puppy before
Phenomenal.
going
That
into
was
his
great.
comment.
I think Dawson shouted that out on Patreon. It was really glorious.
Yeah, so thank you, Andy. And then Jeff also commented that ACS was ripping off our sandwich cutting
Oh, yeah.
bit.
Which is true.
Yeah.
You can bet, by the way, that every time that happens, one of the reps on this show will run out of their office and make eye contact with another person on the show and just nod and acknowledge that once again our show is being copied.
Yeah, Gary goes, is there something we can do about this?
I'm working on it.
Okay, thank you. Christopher Logan.
I actually heard him say, "What's on the menu?" And I was like, "What's going
the hell?
on?"
What the hell?
It's weird.
Yeah. I think they're even speaking English.
Yeah.
Christopher Logan, right, he says he was listening to Dawson Shit I Did as a kid and reminded him of the corporal punishment that his brother and he received as kids. He says, my mom had the best move. Instead of spanking, my mom would reach back in the car and pinch and twist the skin on top of our knees, and that was way worse than any spanking. My dad's weapon of choice was a bare-bottom spanking with a wooden spoon, which wasn't pleasant either. Ultimately, my mom was scarier than my dad. If you pissed off my mom, you really had to be out of line. Yeah, I'd say
Jesus
so.
Christ.
God, seeing those fingers just come out from when you're sitting in the back seat, just in between the two front seats.
You know it's
And
happening.
they're coming right at you. That's terrifying. No, thank you.
No bueno.
Let's see here, Jake. He asked this question. I thought it was interesting. He says, "What's the best way to kick off some meat candy cooking?" And by meat candy, he's referring to bacon. How do you cook your bacon? He says, by peeling off each slice of the slab, it can get messy and lead to bacon breakage. Therefore, I like to put the whole slab down, the fattier side first, onto the pan, and it loosens up and it's easier to separate. Is there anything I'm missing? And a lot of people commented, I actually prefer to cook my bacon in the oven. I prefer to do it this way. How do you guys cook your bacon? Matt just had bacon that looked like Donald Trump the
That's
other day.
right, I did.
How do you cook your bacon, Matt?
Well, before I met my wife, I was always a frying pan kind of guy, but my wife taught me about the joys of the oven. So that is how I cook the bacon now. And the idea of not separating the strips first sounds like complete madness to me. I would be too afraid to try it. Also, how many pieces of bacon is the man cooking at once?
It looked like a
That was a
good
crazy
amount.
picture. That was the entire
Yeah.
rack of bacon.
Yeah. And I worry that it would get cooked unevenly.
Now,
I
Matt,
don't
are
know.
you just signing on to this guy's use of the term rack? Because I've never heard that before.
Oh, did he say rack of bacon? I thought I just said
He
that.
said slab,
Slab.
maybe? I've
He
never
said
heard
slab.
either of those terms. What is this anarchy?
a slab of bacon?
A slab of bacon? Is that a real thing? Caelan, have you ever heard that? The package is
I
referred to as a
haven't-
slab.
I haven't heard it, but I feel like I could picture it in my
I can
mind.
picture it.
Yeah.
No, I,
Yeah,
got,
but
I know
no,
what he was
I don't.
talking about, but
I don't think that's the official term, but when he says it, I understand what he means. So
Yeah.
I think it works.
right.
How do you cook your bacon, Gary?
when I was a kid, producer Laura Lee used to do it in the microwave quite a bit.
My
Oh,
mom
sure.
did that too.
And that actually worked out just fine. As I have grown, I have also taken a stop in the frying pan department and have settled more recently. And I'll be fully truthful that my wife often does it for me because she's the best, but oven.
It's the way to do it.
Caelan?
My mom also used the microwave growing up, so that's the only way I kind of knew how to make bacon. And then when I met Amy, she was horrified that I was doing that. And I tried to prove to her, like, no, you could do it, watch. And I put some in the microwave and totally undercooked it. And that was the last time I tried to use the microwave. What I do is, since I pretty much exclusively eat bacon with eggs, what I do is I cook the bacon in the pan and then just put the eggs right in with that bacon grease, and then cook my scrambled eggs in the bacon grease.
That. Some
I'm okay with
yummy
that.
sounding eggs, man.
Sounds great.
I've had both ways. I've actually never had microwaved bacon, but I've
not
had
missing much.
in the oven and the
It
pan.
was clearly worse.
Yeah, microwave's clearly third position.
Nice. And I usually do pan, but I'm getting over it. One, it's very messy. Like all the
Yes.
grease just gets everywhere. I'm not into that. And having to clean it all up is annoying. Two, I don't like waiting that long for this bacon. And in the pan, you're hearing it, you're smelling it. But I like my bacon crispy, so I want to keep it in there as long as possible. Make sure it gets nice and crisped up, and sometimes it curls at the end, so you got to keep flipping it because you want to make sure it's all evenly cooked. I think I'm gonna go oven.
Now, how crispy is crispy? Do you want it to break off if you put it in your mouth and like bend?
I want a few pieces to break off. Yeah.
Okay.
You want it nuked.
Is that nuked? That's why I
would
should
think
microwave
so.
it.
I mean, if you want it to literally crumble in your hands, I think you're doing it wrong.
So that's the well done steak of bacon.
Like a
Yeah.
light well. I like a light well.
If it's
That didn't
breaking,
sound like
if
light
it's
well.
breaking, that's
It ain't
full.
bacon.
If it's breaking, it ain't bacon.
Count it.
All right.
Perfect.
I don't
You're
know.
not gonna beat that. Just move on.
No, I'm departing the field. Matt's the victor.
All right. And lastly,
It was a shared victory, Gary.
Thank you, Matt.
speaking of
Because of brotherhood and happiness.
Speaking of indulging in food and drinks, we had a long conversation about drinking milk. Who here drinks milk?
I do.
Yeah.
Caelan drinks milk. Dawson says he drinks milk like once a day or something. I don't know how much milk he drinks, but he drinks a lot of milk. And then Ruben writes, my mom drinks milk with ice. I think it's disgusting. She says it's the best. What say you guys?
You want your milk ice cold, but you do not want ice in it.
That is a strange
Dang.
move.
Put that on a shirt.
Yeah, what if you're drinking like a White Russian?
Well, I've never had a White Russian, but I guess, is that how people drink it?
There's some ice in the
cocktail.
White
Well, it's
Russian.
got alcohol in it, so.
Yeah. Well, I
Seems
thought
strange to me. I've never had
I
milk
thought
with
it-
ice in it, but a milkshake's good, and that's like crumbled ice.
Yeah,
No.
I thought it was
No,
weird.
no,
I don't crumbled milkshake, crumbled ice.
Yeah, dude.
Nope.
With your rack of bacon.
So I thought, yeah, it's a little weird, but I've seen people do it. It's not insane. It's not insane to me. But then I started reading the comments below and how people drank their milk, and then I proceeded to be horrified. Mark wasn't that bad. He says the best milk is camping milk out of an iced down cooler. So you pick it out of the
Sounds right.
cooler. It's nice. It's really cold. It has condensation all over the carton.
Now,
Sure.
here's the question I have for him. Have you ever tried breast milk at a wedding reception?
None of us have, Gary. So we can move forward.
Is that true? None of us have?
Yeah, of
I feel like
course.
somebody has.
No, none of us have. Maybe someone's came close.
Real close.
Yeah, someone's came very close, but did not. So we are all in the no column for we had breast milk at a wedding rehearsal or a wedding reception.
Which is a Chris rehearsal or reception.
None. Karen writes. She says, "I put my glass in the freezer for an hour before I drink milk, and it gets icy shards. But I kind of like that."
I mean, amazing, but who has this much time to think about the glass of milk
Yeah.
they're going to consume?
Isn't that uncomfortable just holding a freezing cold glass like while you're trying to drink it too?
Yes. And I think
No.
I don't know. Just thinking that far ahead, like I'm going to drink milk in an hour.
in an hour?
I gotta prepare.
I'm going to jump in
I
the
mean,
shower.
So wait, she's a monster, but when we do it with our martini glasses, we're just sophisticated?
Alcohol and milk, I think, is the big distinction here.
No, I'm just teasing. I mean, look, if it could be great. I really have no no reason for saying it's not good because I've never done it.
Interesting.
Let's see. Andy says, I put a mug of milk in the freezer before I drink it. Just, I guess what, to chill
Makes
it?
ice cream?
Yeah. Well,
That's how you make it, right?
well-
You just put milk in the freezer?
put milk in the freezer.
Crumble
It's
ice.
crumbled out. You crumble, and then you crumble it.
Yeah.
Jim says, got to have ice in there with Kahlua and vodka. That's not bad.
Let's see. Now we're
that's
talking.
different.
That's not bad.
White
Norm
Russian.
says he uses those metal ice cubes because he doesn't like to water down the milk.
Yeah, I like those in principle, but I've never been able to come around on just the weirdness factor.
The only time that those metal cubes have been useful, in my opinion, is if you are having like a glass of wine, like a white wine or a rosé, and you just brought it back from the market or something and it doesn't have enough time to chill. That's when those metal cubes are good because you don't want to put real ice cubes in your wine.
Yeah.
Do you guys?
Which I see a lot of people do, too.
That's weird.
Is it still a thing at supermarkets when I was a kid? If like in the nicer supermarkets, there was like a device where you could get a bottle of wine and throw it in there, and it would chill while you were walking around the store doing the rest of it.
Oh, it's awesome.
Have you ever seen it? It's like a little
No.
bath. It's like cold water that's like constantly circulating, and you like go when you get there and you get your bottle of white wine, you drop it in there, go get the rest of your stuff, and come back 10 minutes later, and it's already perfectly chilled.
Which grocery store was that?
It was a Gelson's, the one that I can think of specifically, but I feel like I've seen it more than once.
Doesn't seem like a Vaughn's thing to me.
Probably not.
I think it's a good idea, though.
That's a great
I would
idea.
use that for a lot of stuff.
I love it.
All right, and Erica. Oh, I don't like this one.
What other stuff? Just out of curiosity.
So all liquids. My milk. Erica writes, I drop a few cubes into my cereal bowl. It keeps the milk super cold.
I don't even eat cereal, and that's.
You put the
sounds
ice
awful.
in the cereal bowl? Is that?
Yeah.
All right. Now we've crossed the line. Now we've gone too far.
And Jeffrey gives a pro tip. Fill an ice cube tray with milk.
Yeah, I feel like I tried doing that as a little kid. It didn't work.
Gary, what's wrong?
No, that I can sort of get behind.
I guess if you want like a milk cube for your coffee, that's
Or-
kind of a cool thing, I guess.
Oh, milk
Or
cube.
if you insist on drinking
milk
milk
with ice.
with ice, it should be made out of milk.
The same milk.
Yes. From the same jug or the same carton. If you must have ice cubes in your milk, you should make it out of milk.
I will also say that I recently was told by someone you could freeze milk like in a bag, for storage purposes, and that shit separates. So I don't know what good milk in an ice cube tray is going to do for you because the like fat separates from it and it's weird.
Gary?
Where are you getting milk in a bag?
Oh, I'm saying like we bought a thing of milk and rather than throwing away half the carton, we poured some into like a gallon bag and put that in the freezer because someone said, "Oh, you could just freeze milk and reuse it," and it was weird. It did not work.
It didn't. Yeah, milk bag. I think it would separate. Yeah, that makes sense, and I'm not into it either. So
It is weird.
all right. Well, anyway, that's our milk segment, and
Milking it with the Bobo Boys.
and thank you to everybody for your listener comments. We really appreciate you contributing. Once again, that's our Facebook group, but we're also on Twitter or Instagram, all that stuff. So hit us up, wherever, and let us know what you think of the show. Now, I have a surprise. Casey Peters, who does all of our songs, the intro song, our segment intro songs. I think he did all of them except for the Flicking the Bean song. Yeah, that one was done by Wes. He wrote a song for us.
An original
Song.
Nice.
He has a little song. And why don't we take a listen to it?
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Let's do it.
Can't wait.
All right. It's just the file's called Waterooler and then song in parentheses. So.
Have you heard this?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
All right, here we go.
I've not.
I heard there was an awesome pod from Chris and his Corolla squad. But you may not yet know this podcast, do ya? It's Chris, Mike Dawson, Gary and Matt, Caelan and Insomniac. There's 69s in every water cooler. Water cooler, water cooler, water cooler, water cooler. The guy who drew their cover art His name is Joe, he wrote that first part, but I'm guessing you don't know that fact yet, do ya? But Joe, I'm the one who gets to write the songs. Stick to cover art, that's where you belong. No, I'm joking, it was awesome, hallelujah. For Waterooler, Waterooler.
Amazing.
Wow.
Matt with a drop of his own at the end. That was Casey Peters with an assist from Joe Giccaro.
That was incredible. Great
So
job,
glad
you
I have
guys.
headphones.
And Matt.
Oh, yeah, good for you.
Yeah, you do have headphones. That's right. I forgot about that. That would have sucked.
That was a really sweet song.
That was great.
And it's so cool because Casey and Joe live on different parts of the country, like different sides of the country.
Yeah.
And they got together and wrote that song.
It's like the
And they
Postal
made
Service,
it.
man.
It's like the Postal Service. Exactly.
Casey's Jenny Lewis in this case.
Yeah. Joe is Ben Gibbard. And who's the other guy? There's another guy.
Caelan wants to know what this has to do with the mail.
But yeah, super impressive, and thank you, Casey and Joe, for that song. It was
was
very,
great.
very sweet.
May I suggest if you become a duo, you should go by Casey and JoJo.
Yeah. I was going to think of that exact same joke pretty much.
I did not think of that, and I love it. All right, let's get to some flicking the bean, and then we are going to settle a little bit more hash/beef with another round of the Super Bowl. But first, Caelan, you got a movie?
I do.
Let's do it.
We all want to know one thing.
One thing.
Your opinion's what we need.
We need.
So Caelan, get on that mic.
That mic.
And flick the bean.
Oh, Caelan, flick the bean. Respect all women.
Jingle Jangle. A Christmas Journey. Available now on Netflix.
Ah, Jingle Jangle.
Jingle Jangle, that's right.
This is the sequel to Django Unchained?
Yeah. Are we-
Django Django.
Sorry.
Son of a bitch.
Sorry, Gary.
Stealing my material while I'm not even in the room.
Caelan loves it.
Love it.
Caelan is such a visual laugher, so if anybody
Oh, yeah.
goes on YouTube and watches them laugh, it's quite joyful.
If you,
Even through the mask.
yeah, I don't know if you can see it from this angle, but I catch Caelan's eyes about 3 times an episode. It's just great. It's so fun.
This is written and directed by David E. Talbert, who did some other movies I didn't recognize.
Davey Talbert.
Davey Talbert, that's right. It stars Forrest Whitaker, Keegan-Michael Key, and Madine Mills.
Okay.
And it's about an eccentric toy maker who loses his ability to imagine and create until his granddaughter comes to visit him and helps him reignite the passion he once had.
Yeah.
It's 122 minutes.
Definitely 22 minutes too long.
Maybe. It currently sits at 90% with the critics and 76% with the audience.
Okay.
Matt has seen this movie.
I sure have.
Chris has seen part of this movie,
I sure have.
Indicative of how he felt about it.
but his TV was weird, so
I'll-
he had
I'll-
to stop it.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll get into it in a little bit.
Gary, have you seen this movie?
I have not.
All
I
right.
thought it was a
Yeah.
sequel to Django Unchained.
I did.
That was his joke.
Now, mine, I watched the movie.
Caelan just loves that.
I just love the title Jingo Jango.
Jingo Django. I watched the movie one night. I put it on, and I didn't realize. Well, I was watching. I'm like, I couldn't take it. Like my brain was just hurting watching it. I thought it was very good. The singing, the music. The first musical number is incredible. God damn it! And I thought, okay, this is going to be great. But then, and I love Keegan-Michael Key. A big fan of him.
Sure. Forrest
And-
Whitaker's awesome.
Yeah, Forrest Whitaker, of course. So I'm watching this and I think, okay, this will be fun. I mean, it's a kids movie, but it's very creative. It's playful. But it was just too much for my brain to comprehend. It was just too much going on, and I had to turn it off. And then the next day, I find out my TV's on that weird setting enhanced motion,
120 hertz.
120 hertz, and that was why. And Jen was watching something else, and I'm like, why does this look weird too? And then I realized that my TV got turned to that
Like
setting.
the frame rate was off?
Yeah, which sucks. I hate that effing
too.
setting. Why is
It's
that
for
a
sports,
thing?
right? Isn't it for sports?
No, it's for dumb people who think that it looks better.
Okay. So for sports.
And I couldn't take it. But now that I've switched it back, I'll give Jingo Django another chance.
You know what you need, Chris? You need a small monitor while you're seated on an airplane stuck between two people.
Yeah.
Then you
That's
can
how you
really
do it.
focus on
Then
this film.
I can really immerse myself.
No distractions.
No distractions.
No
Just-
large rumbling sound or motion sickness to keep you from finishing that film.
Yeah, that would have helped. I really wish I could just watch it on a plane, but just watching movies on a plane is so expensive these days. You
Yeah.
have to buy the ticket, and
It's just crazy.
Yeah.
You can get a flat screen for half the price.
yeah, exactly.
I just have a really hard time watching Christmas movies because as the intro credits are rolling, I'm just thinking is this time that I'm wasting that I could be watching Elf, which is a perfect Christmas movie.
It is perfect.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
It's flawless. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It just is.
Do yourself a flavor, Caelan. According to Caelan, he says there's a behind-the-scenes Elf.
Everyone was raving about
I
this.
have heard about this.
If you like Elf, you should definitely
Yeah.
check it out. Unfortunately, I don't have the name of it in front of me.
It's called The Movies That Made Us.
Movies
Yep.
that made us.
And they also have one on Nightmare Before
Before,
Christmas.
I think they are doing a bunch of them. They have a Home Alone one.
I seen
I
the
think
Home
right
Alone
now
ones.
they only have the
I think
two
it's only
on
the two,
Netflix,
yeah.
But
if there's
the
a Home
one on
Alone
Elf
one
is
coming, that's
great,
great.
especially if you like the movie, which everybody does. Nobody doesn't like Elf.
What'd you think of Jingo Django?
Jingo. Correction, the lead girl, the granddaughter in the movie is called Madeline Mills. That's her real name, not Medine. Which was a little typo.
seem like a real
It didn't
name.
really seem like a real name.
That's
I
not
knew
what you get away
that
with,
wasn't
though.
right when
Yeah.
I said it. As Chris said, I had never even heard of this movie, and I forget if it was on air, but last week I said, I'm going to be reviewing a movie, and you said
Jingo Django.
Jingo. So then I was like, I guess this is a big thing right now. I got to watch it. And as Chris said, it's a musical, which I did not know. I hate musicals.
Oh, whoops.
So there's that.
You haven't met a musical you like?
I
Yeah.
have, but very few.
What's your favorite musical? Might be this one.
What's
let's
a
listen.
musical you'll tolerate?
Grease?
Grease.
I mean, that's a classic.
That's the word.
All right.
Try West Side Story.
I've never seen
Steven Spielberg is remaking that. It's coming out within a year.
I'm not optimistic.
Team America was quite enjoyable.
Technically a musical. Good
What
job.
about La La Land?
I've never seen La La Land, nor
outta
do I want
here.
to.
Bring La La Land into West Side Story. And
I'm
Grease.
trying to think of the
Get outta
most
here.
modern ones because I thought Caelan would like something more modern.
Well, maybe Jingle Jangle.
Maybe.
Yeah, I generally don't like musicals. So this is obviously a Christmas movie, but when I finished it, I thought to myself,
Die Hard's better.
well, maybe. I was like, this isn't really a Christmas movie. Christmas is a part of this movie, but it's a very small part of this movie. So I came in the next day after watching it and told Matt, I don't think this is a Christmas movie.
Oh.
What's the name of the movie?
Jingo Django.
What's the subtitle?
A Christmas Journey.
Okay.
Well done, Matt.
The more that I thought about it, though, I was like, this movie feels like a Christmas movie, but it doesn't really have to do with Christmas,
Right.
Which is strange. And then I talked to Matt about it today, and I have since he helped put it into perspective that the themes of the movie, the themes of the movie have to do with Christmas, even though Christmas isn't really a big factor in this movie. So it is a Christmas movie,
The
barely.
movie's about like toys and magic and
family
and
yeah.
forgiveness, and all those things are in Christmas movies.
Yeah,
They
it's a
just
Christmas
are.
movie.
Yeah.
I admit, but barely. This is a very unique and original film, I will say that. It's very fun, but it's also very silly because it is a kid's movie. But for the most part, I really like the toys that they make in this movie. They're very creative and out there. The musical aspect of it threw me, like the dubbing over. It was tough for me to get used to. I will say that this movie probably deserves an Oscar for its costume and set design. It really is just awesome.
It's a spectacle.
Also, I don't know why, but when I was watching it, I kept getting like a Willy Wonka type vibe.
Oh, sure.
I kept thinking, this is kind of like Willy Wonka. It's
playful.
It's playful.
Chris, you got that from the first 10 minutes of the movie?
I watched it. I watched the first 25,
Oh, okay.
30. I got it. You don't have to eat the whole cake to know what it tastes like, baby. All right, I got a nice slice.
Overall, it's a good movie.
I love you.
It's fun. It's enjoyable. Watch it with your kids. Flickable. 8.1 out of 10.
Wow, 8.1
For a musical.
Musical.
Nick
The musical's good.
Nick Davis would want me to point out that it can't be very unique. Sorry.
Nick's not here.
His spirit lives
He's here
on.
in spirit.
Yeah, it's here in spirit. All right, well now, I think it's time. I mean, there's an even number of judges here, so this could
get messy.
This could go horribly, but let's give it a shot. Let's do some Chez Fondiler.
Oh no!
What type of foods might
yes.
we hear of today? What might be the price? What might be the venue? So let's find out. It's time for Gary to say, hey, Matt.
What's on the menu?
Well, we got another section of the bracket to do for the Super Bowl.
What?
Brought to you. Sorry, Soup Bowl.
Thank you.
Brought to you by the High Society for Hot Spoon Food, headquartered in San Francisco.
Of course, here.
Now, we got two intense matches here. I feel like they're both going to be pretty quick. I don't think it's going to really matter that Dawson's here or not.
Oh,
but I could be wrong.
Yeah,
I could be wrong.
No.
First up.
Well, who won last week? Let's just.
Oh, we can
because
recap it.
We did the Patreon episode last week.
Sure.
Yeah, well, subscribe.
Suckers.
Chris over here trying to give away the Patreon shit for free. Get out of here. Patreon.com/watercooler. What's up this week, Matt?
This week, we have an intense battle here. First up, from the Supplantation category, Pho.
Oh, well, we know where Chris is going.
We know where Chris is going.
And I'm going to be. But I'm incensed that you guys haven't had it, so there's no way.
It's going
we
up
haven't had
against a representative from the Miss Souplanius category. Is that right?
I'd put money that Gary hasn't.
Yeah,
I bet
from Miss
money
Souplanius.
Gary hasn't eaten pho.
Going up against Italian wedding soup or albandinga's meatball soup, what we're talking about here. It comes from many different cultures. So you got the pho, you got the meatball. Chris, we know, is going with the pho.
Easy.
Caelan, what say you?
You know, I haven't had either of them too many times, and I'm not the hugest fan of pho. Not even probably half of what Chris is, but it's, I'd say, definitely better than this Italian soup. So I'm going pho.
Pho.
Over the meatball soup. Pho is.
Why don't you tell listeners what it is, Chris, and make us taste it while we hear the description.
Then I'll tell you what I don't like about it.
Pho. From the Vietnamese part of the world, Vietnam.
Are we supposed to be tasting Vietnam now?
Jesus Christ.
Gary was pretty disgusted by that first sentence there. It's a slow cooked broth, a beef broth, and it has some thin rice noodles in it. Some
Rice noodles? Aren't those two things, Chris?
no. It's noodles made out of rice. They're delicious. It has some beef in it, like some. Usually they put the beef raw and it cooks in the heat of the soup.
That's what I don't like about it.
You don't have to do it that way.
Don't
though.
you cook your eggs in the bacon fat? What's the difference?
There you go.
Wait, yeah. What's wrong with that?
It's just, first off, it's like raw meat,
But it cooks in your soup.
but I don't trust it to cook fully.
It cooks just.
I don't trust it to cook
You could
fully.
have,
And it comes raw, and I don't like that.
Caelan, you could eat it.
You should never
I
go to
have.
Joe
I
Coy's
have.
restaurant.
Yeah, it's just like that. So
Shabu
thinly,
shabu?
it's so thinly sliced that it just cooks right
No,
away.
you can see it change color, but I don't
Yeah.
trust it still.
Now, is it like, based on what Gary's just saying, shabu shabu, which is that type of cooking where they give you a big bowl of hot soup and you take the thin meat and you kind of cook it in the soup and you let it cook? Is pho just somebody doing all that work for you?
No, but it's a soup. You get to enjoy the broth and everything at the same time and the noodles. So the other one, you swish it in there and then you just eat the meat by itself. But this one, it's all in the same. You get bean sprouts. You get some basil. You get sometimes cilantro, some green onions in there.
Damn, sounds really good.
Oh, it's perfect, Matt. And they eat it for breakfast even. Like you can eat it. I think it's actually most commonly enjoyed for breakfast, but it's the best hangover soup. And it really, like, I'll eat it every day. I could eat it every day. It is the best soup, hands down. It is my front runner for the win. And you can lock that in.
All right. Gary, what say you?
I'll abstain because Chris is right. I do not have good experience with either of these. I have had Italian wedding soup, and it's fine. I'm sure that it's better than pho just based on the way that it's named and the way that it looks. I'm a big fan of beef, though, so maybe I would like pho, but I think it's only fair that I abstain.
Well, I got to say, what I'm going to have to bring this to is what I'm craving the most. Because the way you describe the pho right now, I'm really missing that shabu shabu experience. It was a great place in Pasadena. I know it's a little bit different, but just the idea of the hot soup, the broth, mixing the meat and all the different vegetables in it. The Italian wedding soup, as much as I love the cruises that we go on, Italian wedding soup to me is cruise ship food because they always have an Italian wedding soup one of the nights where they give you those little tiny fucking peanut-sized meatballs. And I'm not really craving that so much. So I'm going to give the vote to the pho, which means even without Gary's non-vote, pho is fucking moving on.
Yes.
Way to go.
I love it. And I always thought if I opened up a pho place, I would call it Forever Ever.
Yeah, that's okay.
Good. All right, we got one more matchup here.
I still like breakfast.
That's good, too.
Breakfast, yeah.
That's good. From the Chunk Sipples category.
Before that, there was a place in the Glendale Galleria called 9021 Pho. And I thought...
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, they
it's
really
not
are.
pronounced pho.
Right.
Like, it would work if it's pronounced pho, like 9021 Pho, but 9021 Pho.
Yeah, it doesn't quite work.
Get out of
And
here.
it's in Glendale.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Crazy.
I think it's closed down now. It was actually pretty good.
Of course you were. Of course you were like, I hate the name of this place. Can I have one pho,
It
please?
was actually, they did good pho. All right, go ahead.
We got from the Chunk Sipples category on this, the fifth night of Hanukkah, matzo ball soup going up against,
This one is going to be quick.
from the dirty joke soup category, clam chowder.
Get
this is- yeah.
out of here.
Now, you guys know how I
already
feel
done.
about this. I'm Jewish. My culture is very important to me, but I love me some clam. So I'm going with clam chowder. I love me some clam.
I mean, this is a no-brainer. I thought, clam chowder is just such a front runner. I mean, it's the Patriots of the bracket here.
Bucks maybe.
Bucks. Of previous seasons, like growing up, the last few years, I guess it was like, okay, they're always going to be in the running, and yeah, clam chowder is just so solid. I mean,
The red or
with
the
or,
white, it
with
doesn't
or
matter.
without the bread bowl, I don't care.
Yeah.
With.
It's
So
of
this-
course with, but I mean just like to advance. Yeah,
This one's really easy. I think I'm pretty well on the record for not being a huge seafood fan. Clam chowder is awful, but it's absolutely better than matzo ball soup. Matzo ball soup is
Interesting you
terrible.
went that way.
Matzo ball soup is awful.
I feel like,
Is there more you want to say on this fifth night of Hanukkah, Gary?
Yeah. You should take those candles and burn down anyone who is making matzo ball
oh my
soup.
god,
It's awful.
Wow. Hate crimes.
yeah, I know.
No, it's not a hate crime. How dare you?
Happy Hanukkah, everybody. No, I'm
How dare
kidding.
you?
Now, I
Caelan,
know
what
that
say
you
you?
don't like seafood,
Yeah.
but clam chowder doesn't have any kind of seafood flavor to it. I feel like,
If it's done properly, it does not.
yeah. I
don't
don't know.
want-
It's
you don't
weird
want
that
it
you
to
would
taste
say
fishy.
you hate clam chowder so much when it doesn't really have that fishy taste. It just has, I don't know, I guess the texture of the clams I could understand, but it's delicious.
Yeah, do you like calamari? You seem like you would like calamari.
You deep fry something, I can pretty
Yeah.
much get on board with it.
Yeah, but it's like the same texture as calamari.
Whatever. It's better than matzo.
All right, so it's not that Gary loves clam chowder, but he just hates
I hate matzo.
ball soup.
Yeah.
All right,
that
guys.
much.
Well, it's been decided. Clam chowder moving on, which means in a few weeks it's taking on pho. It's going to be real tough.
No, it won't.
Hope you're ready for this.
I'm bringing pho tomorrow for everybody to try.
I do feel like Gary and Matt, you guys need to eat some pho before.
Before
Before.
We're running out of time to
continue
eat
with the
reindeer
soup.
here. I don't know if we can
Yeah.
really. I don't know how many food things.
No,
we
we
can
should
work
go to
in here.
912 and pho. Is that still open, right?
I don't think it's open
God
anymore.
damn
Yeah.
it.
Here, I have an idea. Put some reindeer in some pho.
Oh, reindeer pho. Ew.
Yeah, we still got to do that.
Yeah, let's do it next week, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Get our
And by the way, this
Christmas
is not a tease. I've literally had reindeer meat in my office for fucking weeks now. But thankfully, it's in jerky and sausage form, so it's
Yeah.
not going bad. But I'm down. I'm
card.
ready.
Matt will finally
I'm ready.
live his dream.
Yep.
And / biggest regret. Mm-hmm. So,
In a Santa beard.
yeah. Well, you have to eat reindeer dressed as Santa.
Yep.
Because
That's coming up on a Patreon episode. Not this Wednesday, but maybe next Wednesday before we all depart.
I love it. All right. Well,
Oh, that's what's on the menu. That's
Yeah.
what's on the menu.
All right, well, let's get our plugs in. We had to start a little later today because of I don't know, just what went on with the other pods today. So why don't we get our plugs in? We'll start with Caelan. Caelan, where should we go for you, my friend?
Oh, don't worry about me.
Really?
That's
okay.
right.
We never do. What's your gamer handle again?
Sour Shoes.
Just
I
like
know,
that.
225.
We got your back. Gary, what's up with you?
Go to work. Also, you could go to chunknibbles.com. Woof Woof 15 is the code to use. You get 15% off of your order. And yeah, man, support small businesses. They're very happy to have the business, and they love you guys. So check that out.
Chunk Nibbies.
Follow me on Twitter at Matt Fondiler. Subscribe to our Patreon episodes if you would. And a few weeks ago, you guys were talking about your favorite holiday albums. I wasn't here for that, so I'm going to throw one out.
Oh, please.
It's on Spotify and stuff. The album is called, and I recommended this last year too, it's called It's a Holiday Soul Party, and it's by Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings.
Oh.
It's like a throwback retro album that came out a couple years ago. Sharon Jones unfortunately passed away. She's like a classic soul singer.
Yeah, great voice.
And there's a bunch of covers, a bunch of original songs. It is a joyous album, and your parents are not going to get mad at you for playing it, unlike Afro Man.
How many songs about blowjobs?
Yeah, not enough. Not nearly enough. Although there is a song about jingle balls, and she's really talking about working those balls, so it almost seems like an Afro Man song.
Well, here's a note for her. Django balls.
Jingle balls.
Can we just end the show now?
Yeah, we can, but I'd like to plug one thing, and that is to wish Gary Smith a happy birthday. As everybody hears it is Gary's birthday today.
Happy
His
birthday.
full birthday. So,
Congratulations.
Just 6 months to the big day.
Yeah, 6 more to go.
It just seems like yesterday when I had my birthday. Actually, just mere few weeks
I
ago.
don't remember that. Are we
Has anyone talked about that?
No,
I'm
no.
not sure.
Why didn't you bring it up at the time, Chris? Why would you bring it up so
I
much
don't know.
later?
I thought, well,
That's
just
weird.
your birthday's reminding me of my birthday, which I'd like to just.
Well, that was why Laura Lee gave us the boozy bite. She said to bring him in on my birthday, and I knew this show would air on my birthday.
Happy birthday, buddy.
So everybody
Thanks,
wish
guys.
Gary a happy birthday at G. Patrick Smith everywhere. And we'll be back for Patreon this Wednesday. So thank you so much for listening. We love you.